horrible both times. Les, come on.
Nah, coming back home wasn't nearly as bad.
Sure it wasn't.
All
right, we're getting ready, guys.
They can hear us now, right?
Yeah, they can
We're
hear
live.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's no viewers yet.
Oh, there will be. One of these days.
Yeah, the suck factor coming home was only about 50% of what it was going up.
Well, I lost you guys in like Chicago anyway, downtown.
All right. Chris and Melissa live Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a great podcast.
Well, they're all great podcasts.
I'll tell you.
Come on.
RidingFish will hopefully join us about 20 to 30 minutes inside. I don't know. But anyway, put your phones on, like, and subscribe. It did say 9 o'clock because we were in a different time zone, but it is at 8 o'clock, so we got to get going. We would do something different, but I hate to say it. It's like RidingFish just released a video, me putting on his Willie.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Yeah, I gave him a bunch of files today. Are you guys talking? Or are you guys just me?
No, we're just listening to you.
I didn't release a video just a couple
We're
of
just
minutes ago.
listening to you ramble on and on.
Like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe so we can get an audio visual guy.
Yeah,
Technical guy.
tech woman, whatever floats the boat. Anyway,
Nobody wants to work with you three. Really?
All right. Donate to Folds of Honor if you can. It's a great cause. It's for wounded soldiers and family members that, their kids can get scholarships and stuff like that. It's a great cause. So please just put your phone on that little Q code right there and it'll take you straight to their website. And then Max, it's your turn.
Hey, everybody. This is our disclaimer. At Throttle and Iron, we believe throttles and bottles do not mix. We do not condone drinking and riding in any way, shape, or form. While we may enjoy a drink during this podcast, we are doing so safely at our own homes. No riding will be taking place afterwards. Ride safe, live free.
Yay.
Tonight we are enjoying a little poor man's Pappy. We have Green Label Weller here.
Green Label, okay.
Yeah, special reserve. The original weeded bourbon, it's the same formula as Pappy Van Winkle, which is the one that thousands of dollars and people got arrested for stealing down at Buffalo Trace. But this is the stuff. This is the same stuff. Same formula. And boy, is it ever tasty. Cheers.
Wow. All right, let's
I just got some Crown and Coke, man. Nothing exciting.
Oh, well, you got 2 bottles down there. What were they? Let's talk about excitement.
I had a limited edition bottle at the track as a commemorative bottle. And,
that was Road America Distributors.
Yeah, and it has a picture of a historical picture of the track, I believe, in the background as the bottle empties out. So I'll work on getting it to see what the picture looks like, and then we got I can't remember the name. What was it here? I'm trying to find the picture of it. What was that stuff that we got yesterday?
It was Great Lakes Distributor. Yeah.
Dirty Harriet or something?
Dirty Helen.
Dirty Helen.
I found it here. It's
Dirty Helen.
Dirty Helen.
Dirty Helen. You won't be able to see it on my phone. Otherwise, I'll show you a picture. Dirty Helen. There you go.
Yeah. There you go.
What? Yeah, 124 proof. So actually sampled it. It's pretty good. Haven't opened this bottle yet.
Do you have your
you're
mic on? Or your voice up? Yeah, I hear something over there.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, you're going into Booker's territory with that kind of
Hey.
proof. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Fish is asking if you send a link. You better send him the link
Oh, okay. I'll send him
Yeah.
a link. Yeah. Hold on a second.
because I think he's wanting to jump on.
He's wanting to jump on, so let me give that link to him real quick.
What was that other dirty Helen bottle? That wasn't.
Well, they had two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had two of them, and one was a little lower proof. I think it was like 104 proof, something like that.
Yeah, but it
And
wasn't
this one
rye.
was on.
It wasn't rye. Was
Yes.
it? Was it?
Yeah. They're both ryes.
All right, so we got a brand new shirt out, Hank. I'm gonna be posting it pretty soon. This is the back of it. Can you guys see it?
I can see
isn't
it.
that just the coolest?
It's pretty
It's the
nice.
coolest shirt. Got the logo on this side. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. I
And
can't drink,
it's
so
It's
that's
exactly
all.
what I like. Small front, big back.
You need
Yes.
to you need to get a muscle builder Manigan to put those things on to display them.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because we all know he doesn't have any muscles.
See, I gave one to Les, and he's not wearing his tonight.
Your
kinda
muscles are down lower underneath your chest.
I
Shut the fuck up.
have my Indian shirt on. Come on. Oh, you just dropped an F-bomb. That's going to get us taken off.
Yeah,
It was
Chris?
past us three.
Yeah,
it was past 3
really?
minutes. It was past 3 minutes. Okay, let's get
Jeez,
change
it's
stuff
about
into- There
me.
we go.
Hey,
there's
there's
fish.
fish. What up, fish?
Hey,
What's up?
What's going on? What's going on?
Well, it's a good thing that you
Yeah.
came on now because it kind of be like, hey, we're talking about this and talking about that, and then you come on and you say, "Oh, you guys already talked about that." Hey,
Yeah, no,
who's
I
that
got a
behind
little
you?
while. Oh, that's my boy Troy. He's gonna do some shorts with me. We're gonna do some interviews.
You kidnapped
Yeah.
him.
Guess what? I saw the shorts with you and Mr. Herb Foss and some guy named Kevin, I think it was, in the
Yeah, well-
background. Something.
Yeah, my boy Kev. Yeah, I mean Troy. I don't know. I get them mixed up all the time, you know.
So
Yeah.
where do you get that cardboard cutout, man? Where do you get that?
I think got it from
So,
missions.
so somebody stole them and was running around with a golf cart. And I convinced the dude to give it to me because I didn't steal it. And so he gifted it to me. I don't know the whole story, but somehow I ended up taking Troy home. It was
man.
nice that the wife drove because we actually had somewhere. Could you imagine if I'd have tried to prop him up on the back of Spicy or something? I don't know how
And
that
you
would
would
have.
have. You definitely would have tried.
Yeah,
Sure
totally
enough.
worth it. So don't worry,
Nice.
I'm going to interview Troy about some of these Harley things that are happening in the Moto America King of the Bagger world right now,
Mhm.
and yeah, it's gonna be fun. Matter of fact, Minnow said she wanted to interview him, and she wants me to be, somebody to be else, the voice. I don't know.
Well, I bet he has some interesting commentary for the rest of the series as the races progress.
Mhm.
To see what he says about the different tracks and things. So
Yeah,
we'll be
or
watching for it.
RPM
So-
limits.
RPM limit.
So Chris was telling us there were some interesting result changes. Have you heard about this, Fish?
Oh, yes. Well, I read the press release by Moto America, and then I could dive into it. But yeah,
Yeah, please. Yeah, dude.
So
Yeah,
there
please.
is okay. So there's a bunch of rules, obviously, to try to make things even or for safety reasons. Well, one of those rules, kind of like the weight limit, right? Or the cubic inch limits to the motors. Those are limitations per, type. Well, one thing about Harleys is they have a certain RPM limit. My understanding now is it's 7,000. I thought it was 6,800. But anyway, regardless, it's 7,000, and Harley Davidson was found, well, I should say more specific, I guess. Bradley, his motorcycle was found that was able to exceed that 7,000 RPM limits, which makes a big difference when you're ringing it out. You know what I mean? 150 miles an hour, and you can go faster than you normally can or should be able to. My understanding is they did that for in the past, when I've read about this, they did that because longevity of the motor. They didn't want to blow up the motors. I mean, 7,000 RPMs is really high, especially for.
Yeah.
I mean, what is a Milwaukee 8 Redline on the street at? Like literally like 6,200 or something. Like I don't even know if they hit $7,000. So anyway, the fact that you can ring it out higher gives an advantage. And Indian motorcycle, the Challengers, their limit is somewhere around the 7,400. I probably should have just.
I think it's 7,000 or 7,700. They actually get 7,700 because they're Power Plus and they're water cooled.
Correct. Yeah, they get a higher limit than the Harley does. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. I really found Chris was there, Les knows, we were all there. Man, all of the Harleys were really fast on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. They were.
And the Harleys were not as fast on Sunday. All of them, by the way. Not just Bradley, all of them. So I don't know. I might be one of those guys that think that maybe they had to have a sacrificial lamb, and one person got to fall on the knife for the other ones. But
well,
yeah,
I had to say, I'm going to bring up a video here in a minute at the beginning of the first race on Saturday, and they actually had a white flag, so they had to restart. But 859's on here talking about how the Harley's beating up on the Indians on the weekend. But you guys gotta do some new research, okay? So they wasn't really beating up on us; they were cheating. So
cheating like they don't know how.
Yeah.
Well, no,
I'll get this video up here in a minute. Yep.
Yeah, on Saturday, to your point at the beginning of the race, the Harleys just busted out like they were shot out of a cannon, and the Indian guys were sitting back 150, 200 feet, going, "What the heck?" Mm-hmm. And they weren't able to close that distance.
I mean, Kyle Weinman was pushing his own air and just continued to spread that gap more and more. It was pretty interesting. Then on Sundays, running third, like that's so strange, So
yeah,
it was noticeable. And even when they red flagged and restarted at the launch, it was the same. I mean, he took off and he was so far out in front. It's like, how the heck do you make that distance up if you can't catch him? You got to get him on a corner if he slows down enough, right? Yeah. So it was pretty amazing to watch the difference between two races, between Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, so let's go. Let me get rid of this stuff right here real quick. Let me drag this thing in here. See if I can get it to go in here. All right. Hold on a second. I need to put this in
See, if we had a tech guy, Chris, we'd be watching a video.
I know. It sucks. Okay. I need to.
Can you just take all of us, put us in the background? But
yeah, I'm gonna do another screen here. Hold on a second. You guys go ahead and let me just do this.
So behind the bars said that his his street glide red lines at.
Hold on a second. There we go. Check this video out, folks. Can you guys hear it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, let me speed it up a little bit. All right, they're gonna be starting here in a second. I think it's right here at the beginning. All right, they're starting the engines up right now. Just check and see how fast this Harley is off the table. This is Kyle. Freaking crazy. Oh, you know what? This is actually the second restart. So he did it twice. This is how fast that motorcycle is. There was definitely something different about this motorcycle.
Those starts were identical.
Yeah. So this is actually the second race. So let me pause this real quick.
Maybe the second start.
Yeah, the second start.
After
So
the
let me
white
put the
flag.
first start on here first. So this is where. $30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds. Here we go.
You know what? By the time they made one lap around, he was way out in front again.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, it wasn't even close.
It's still playing.
Yeah, what is it? There we go. It's in the background for some reason. So every
What
time
were-
I switch.
Fish
But-
was saying something about behind the bars.
Yeah, behind the bars. Let's see what he got here. 5,600. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds right, because I think my twin cam redlined at 5,500, and when we did the tune, I think we bumped it up to 6,500, which is way too much.
Mhm.
But that sounds about right. So these guys are turning 7,000.
Yeah. The sad thing about tonight, if you guys are watching it, when we posted this YouTube, we did it on Saturday night, and we were actually in a different time zone. So when we came back, instead of YouTube saying, "Oh yeah, whatever it is," it said it is at 9:00 instead. So a lot of people thought this podcast was going to be at 9:00. So if you are watching it later, that's the reason why we changed it back to 8, because we normally have the podcast at 8:00. So, and Max needs to go sleep. He's got to get a beauty sleep.
Yeah, it confused the living crap out of me, but that's okay.
Yeah, it did the
Hey,
Max
Max.
Sunday one too. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Go
Hey,
ahead,
Max.
Fish.
Missed you this weekend, bro. Missed you this weekend.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
Yes, we did.
It was just one of those things, but like I said, the guys were there carrying the standard, so I know you treat them right. So it's okay. Thing is, though, I was talking to Les before the show started. Listen, Mr. Indian Ambassador, there seems to be a little lack in amenities up there for Indian people. You need to talk to some people and get them on the stick.
Well, I need to hear more. I need solutions, not just bitching. So what you got? Tell me what we need.
Oh, so Les, go ahead, brother. You were the one that was there.
I was not complaining. I was mentioning that if you went across the street to the other real estate that Harley Davidson occupied, there was a much larger spread when you looked at the number of bikes that they had for test ride. The racing simulator, they had the race bike on display over there, the CVORR, the burnout simulator, V-Twin Visionary was there with a multitude of suppliers. And really what I call VIP parking, which was right up in their area. And it was for the people for Harley. And, they really did a really, really nice job. Now, conversely, when you got over across the street to the Indian tent, no complaints. They put a really nice lunchbox together. They did have a small lounge area for us, that kind of thing. They brought the riders up. They did a signing session. We got to take pictures with them. And it was a really, really good time. But they could step up their game a little bit and make a little more posh for us old guys who need some comfort.
So Fish, now you said I think it was one of your videos, or I can't remember exactly what was going on. Troy Herfoss liked one of my comments. Cool. Anyway, so you said that Indian this year was going to do a lot more at the show.
So I had to tell Troy, thank you.
What I got to ask you is, what the hell did they do last year? Because I'm looking at, there's a lounge. Yes, that's cool. But there's not enough seating for everybody. So it was really small. They did have lunch, which is okay. The sandwiches were great, but there wasn't really that much seating room for, because they had a lot of people there. They sold a lot of tickets. So if you bought this ticket, it was $80. And it was Rome to the races. You go to the dealership and you ride up to the racetrack. And half of the Harley Davidsons or different brands. So anybody could buy the ticket, like you said, which is cool. I mean, I don't mind having little Debbie's with us. But
oh my gosh,
little Debbie.
But when you looked across the street, man, I'll tell you, the grass was so much greener. And even if you went over there, and I said this there, the grass was still greener. It's like, you go over there and it's the same thing. No, it's not. It wasn't even close. The simulator, that kind of stuff, all the engines, all were tore apart in front of you. You can actually look at it. The RR was there. You can almost touch that son of a gun. That thing is a badass freaking motorcycle. I got to tell you that much right now. And that's the only thing is that you spend $80. The Harley Davidson riders must have spent $500 for a ticket to get private parking because what they got was unbelievable. And I like, what Indian did, but it was just overshadowed by the cross the street. And everybody was able to park in our parking lot because supposedly we had Indian private parking, I guess you could say. We got to park at a reserved parking for Indian, but everybody was able to park there. It was crazy. So, but I don't know what they did last year, but this year it was, I guess it was better, which is good. And I'm not trying to criticize Indian because I ride an Indian and I rode it like 1,100 miles round trip there. Mm-hmm. It was a great event. I'm glad Indian won some races up there. Too bad there was some kind of cheating going on, but
I went to the Harley tent twice.
I understand it was the biggest. I understand it was the biggest turnout for any King of Bagger race so far in the series every year.
Connie, did you see the Lowrider ST?
I did.
Mm-hmm. Did you get to sit on it?
I did. I sit on so many motorcycles this past weekend. I was in love.
But I'm going to tell you,
Chris.
I will tell you this much: the racers, Troy, Tyler, and Bass. I think it's Bassy. What's his last name?
I think his last name is Bass, isn't it?
Yeah. They were all nice, man. Great guys. We got to get our signatures on our hats. Bass is actually wearing his. I am putting mine away forever. So right there.
Oh, yeah. So Max,
spray it with hairspray. It'll last longer.
So here you go, Max. Now that my internet's working, I'll give you this whenever I see you next time. I'm going to put it in a little frame though, so I'll get you a frame for it. Mm-hmm. Just got all their signatures. So
appreciate you guys.
I appreciate.
So they had these guys. They had these guys all sitting down 3 in a row. So I went through the first 2, and I got down to the last one. I don't remember who was sitting at the far left end, Chris. Who was it?
On the far left is Bass. Yeah.
Bass, yeah. So I got down to the end. And I said, "Hey, man, I wasn't going to tell you this. I didn't want to hurt your feelings, but these other 2 guys over here, they're talking bad about you, saying you're way behind. You need to catch up." And he goes, "Oh, I've been behind all day." So, and I think he had been right in qualifying. I think he was.
He was last place on the race actually too. So
yeah,
there's something going on with that thing.
Yeah, he said he'd been behind all day. So,
welcome to the podcast, Bob. Welcome to the podcast, Dr. Harley. Sorry.
Hey, Doc, what's up, man?
Mm. But overall, I mean, it was fun. Everything, all the dealers were up there, and all the parts and stuff, vendors, and that was. We actually went through all the pit stops or whatever. I guess the tents where
what are they called? RidingFish, not the pods. What were they called?
Where they work on the bikes and stuff.
Oh, the paddock area.
The paddock area. Yeah. So that was cool. Got to see a lot of different bikes there. Indian was there. We got to see them start up a motorcycle. Actually Troy's, which was pretty cool. And then we went to the Harley one and we saw some racers there. Some of the Kyle was there, and it was like I said, if you don't, it's nice watching it on TV because you can actually see the race all the way around every curve, all around the racetrack and stuff like that. The camera keeps moving back and forth. When you go to the race, you're only going to see the viewpoint that you're at, so it'll be like maybe 60, 70 seconds before they come around again. But overall, it's very exciting. I mean, I'm glad I went. I'm going to another one in Mid-Ohio at the end of the year, or actually in August. And that should be hopefully Indians in better standings by then. But Harley Davidson doesn't cheat. But
yesterday's race or Sunday's race, I was kind of a little upset at what transpired at the end of the race. Well, because I thought that was kind of mean.
Well, hold on a second. And I've seen people chatting on this, and I know Les, you didn't see this, and I know maybe RidingFish has. But
are you talking about the bump?
The bump, yeah.
You're calling it a bump? I'm talking.
That's just flat out
takeout. That's just racing. That's just racing.
That's all it is.
He has no idea. He's pretty much he has no control. of that motorcycle at that point in time, other than going the way his route. That guy happened to be right next to him. He slid into him, bumped him, bam. He totaled. Yes. It's sad that actually happened at the very end of the race, but a lot of people get confused. That is racing. You can't not just. I mean, what's he supposed to do? Just stop, and then let the guy win. I mean, you have a lot of choices right there, but at that point in time, all you're thinking about is a checker flag, because that's what you see in your head.
Yeah. See, Doc Harley says rubbing is racing. He's right.
Yep.
I watched that a couple of times. I didn't see anything. I don't think there's any ill intent. They come around the corner. One guy was actually, I think he's over by the rubble strips, if not on him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is what it is. That was just racing. So.
Okay, hang on. So I got a couple things. First of all, I agree with you guys. It is just racing. Second of all, I'm just looking at some of these pricings. So you said you got fed once, and parking. You didn't get breakfast at the.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah,
did.
Yeah, you're good. Yep.
So you got a little bit of breakfast. That was just okay. It wasn't horrible. But I'm looking at some of these prices, $80 just for Saturday. I'm looking at Mid Ohio. So is it Mid Ohio? Is that what it's called? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's $80 again, and just to go on Saturday, it would cost you $75 just to show up.
Yeah.
That's not counting the food. And then there's a $50 infield parking, which that's what they charge if you were going to buy that by itself. And admission isn't included. And if you want to take the parade lap, that's $50.
Oh, wow.
So for $80, you're getting like, what is that? $175 in value, not counting food.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, because normally they do charge for all of that. I've had to pay for the parade lap in the past. And then also you cannot compare Harley and Indian because they are on other levels. The Harley area is immaculate. I hate the burnout machine. That's that fake thing. That is. I hate it. It's so
don't say that unless his wife was all over that thing.
I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Okay.
No, that was a Sportster at the museum. If you haven't seen that video yet, Fish.
Oh, that she was sitting on. Yeah. Well,
she did a burnout too.
Yeah, she did burnout.
Yep.
But no.
Yeah, where's that video? That's the one I want to see.
I'll get it on here in a second.
But yeah, I think the display is really nice. Indian could take some more notes. But yeah, last year they didn't have none of it. Honestly, you had to go to their paddock. Their paddock was laid out a little bit different last year, where all the fan interaction was in the paddock right next to the SNS booth. I don't know if you went up there this weekend. So they're exploring. They're getting bigger. But I think value for your money. By the way, the parking was a disaster. It was so frustrating. They sent us to the wrong area. I don't know if they sent you, but I got sent to the wrong area. And then I was in kind of like general parking. It wasn't VIP by any means. So hopefully they get that kind of situated before Laguna Seca and all those. But anyway, I just thought I would just tell you because, but Harley does have it going on. Their booth but it's a huge area, right? So imagine, V-Twin Visionary, they're their own thing. The parking that's up there normally is bike show parking. Only reason why I know is I put my bike in their show one time and I parked at V-Twin Visionary the whole day. And by the way, I didn't win anything. Really weird that the Indian didn't win a performance bagger freaking Harley Davidson competition. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, I just thought it was funny.
All right, guys.
V-Twin Visionary, isn't that Jeff Holt and those guys?
It is, yes, sir. Jeff's a good dude.
I went on a tour with them. I know those guys.
Yeah. Jeff and them are good dudes, and his wife's amazing, and they're incredible people. So I park up there. They let me park. They don't care. They would probably let anybody park up there. I don't think it's Harley exclusive either, or I just do my own thing. But yeah, in Indian, when it comes to display, they have a little ways to go, and I think they could take some notes. I definitely agree with you on that. But value for your money, I do think you got it. You got it.
All right, let me show you this video here. Let me turn this back on to this. Jump on there.
All right. So,
I gotta turn this thing off. Here we go. Yeah.
So
it was a lot of
Chris,
fun, though.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. I gotta figure out how
Chris,
to get that.
do you have the video ever on the Sportster?
What?
Oh, on the Nightster?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what's that?
no, the Sportster. Do you have the video ever on the Sportster?
Oh yeah, I got the video on the Spectre. Yeah, go ahead and that was in the. I did a short. If you guys want to see the short, but yeah, there's a short. Let's see if I can find.
Yeah, the
it.
short's what I saw.
Yeah.
Bob Cole says, "Fish, it looks like we need to show them how to actually do a roll and burnout up the mountain."
In Mexico.
Yeah, on a racetrack.
Yeah, close course racetrack in Mexico.
Now, Bob Cole says, relating to the to the bump, he said, it'll be good for the.
This suspension does its highest level, I think.
You just step on the peg of that and get up there.
Yeah. See, that's the thing with a trike. You don't have to throw your leg over it.
There we go. See, I like that one.
That's a bike for you right there.
Get it right on back. Wait a minute, I get it right on back.
There we go.
Wait, God. I need a man-sized seat on the back. Ugh.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Isn't that cute?
All right.
You guys.
I'm out of here now.
Oh, shoot. You saw it here first.
No. It's got a maxi pad for a back seat.
You're never going to live that down, Wes. You're never going to
I
live that
know, that's
down.
okay.
I gotta get that video off this thing. So every time I switch screens, it keeps on playing the damn thing.
Ooh, Doc Harley's making creamsicle moonshine tonight for mobbing.
Oh, man, I wish I could show up there.
Is
Let me
that,
get these-
is
You
that
can't
legal?
drink that stuff.
I know I can't drink
Be
it
in
at
the
all. I've
You'll
been
be
in
in
the
the
hospital.
hospital again.
Yeah,
That
I'm not allowed to
sounds-
drink anymore. It sucks.
That sounds delicious, actually.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It really does.
I'll just have to drink for Chris and myself.
Yeah. So one thing, because behind the bars, I think the RR is ridiculous. Have you seen that bike, by the way, 859, in person? I mean, literally see it.
I'm sure he probably has.
And I got to tell you, get on Harley a little bit. We went to the museum and there was an RR there, and it was 0 of how many? What is it? 131.
Says 131.
Okay, 131. So when we were actually at the racetrack, okay, there was a RR there too. And for some reason, the person working at the museum said, they're different specs. They're different bikes. This is the one you can buy as retail.
That's the retail one.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other one at the other racetrack was the retail 2 version. And they were both 0 of 131. So I just wanted, there's no way that bike could be at 2 different places. So they do have some extra of them bikes. So if you really want to spend some money, I'm sure they can get you one.
Those are pre-production bikes, probably.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, I just sent you, Chris, a link in your email to my Instagram. You could play a video.
Oh,
Gotcha.
cool. That's cool.
And I'll just a little backstory of what this is while you're searching. This was when we went out to Pikes Peak, Colorado, and Colorado Springs, Pikes Peak Indian Motorcycle. My boy Brandon Davison, he bought a Springfield while he was there. Well, the reason why I bought a Springfield is because he wanted to R&D how to put an audio system on it for the Folds of Honor bike. So that being said, we thought there's only one way to celebrate a new freaking purchase, and obviously it would be a smoke show. So, like any good content creator, and with the help of BC Customs and Bob Cole, one of the best riders I know. And then Brandon Davidson's no slouch either. So yeah, when you get it pulled up, you could play, share your screen or whatever. It I don't know. You tell me what you think. But yeah, this is not pouring oil on an exhaust. This is some real deal stuff here.
Yeah.
I've actually been to Pikes Peak, Indian, and rode up to the top of Pikes Peak. So That's a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, both of them, the dealership and the ride. Yeah, and
absolutely.
Yeah, did you have good weather and stuff when you went?
Well, the first time we tried to go up, we got stuck there halfway up at the souvenir shop. They had closed the road due to a snowstorm. So we stuck around town, and the next day we were able to go up about 11 o'clock. We made it all the way to the top.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm getting there. I just got to find the right thing here. So
cool. But but you featured Pikes Peak Indian before. They do in-house customs and stuff, right?
They do everything. Like they do full builds, they do motor work, they do powder coating. I believe their family even owns the powder coating company because they were just doing so much business. They're like, why don't we just buy this from you guys?
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to custom motorcycles, really you got a handful. You got like 5 dealers or whatever doing them big. And they're at one of the top of the list, honestly. So, yeah. Man, Chris, I tried to make it easy for you.
No, man. I got to do a certain thing, and I got to enlarge this, enlarge that. I mean, I got such a big screen. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Chris, a tech guy would have that video up already.
Oh, yeah? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's no way the actual, let me, here we go.
That'd be great if I could actually see it.
Yeah.
I know. It's about as big as I can get it.
Oh, my goodness.
It's called Instagram. That's where, the website doesn't let you expand.
Hey, what if I share my screen?
Yeah.
There's an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can, if you allow me to do it, I'll do it.
Yeah. Give me a second. Let me get this thing out of here. I got my mouse over here on the side here. So stop.
Huge congratulations to Brandon Davidson Audio on your new 2024 Indian Springfield.
All right. All right. Here we go. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. Yeah. Jeez, this is a technical difficulty freaking disaster tonight. All right. You're gonna share your screen, you said? Uh-oh.
Somebody's doing a
robot. He went to robots now. Let me see here.
Who did Fish with the robots?
Yeah, he was a robot here. We had the same problem last time, but let's see. Ecam live switcher. It should be guest here. Let me get the primary camera here. Let me get rid of this. Delete.
Good thing it is you. I would have disconnected everybody.
Oh, what? Yeah, it is. He's gonna have to refresh his page or something. Come back in. He's a robot. Yeah.
Robot. Refresh.
There he is. He'll come back in here in a second. All right. Well, technical difficulties we have. All right. Can we hear you now?
It's the story of our lives.
All right. He's good. All right. Let me share I'm going to put your screen up. Just tell me when you're done, ready to share your screen. Okay. There we are. Yes. Yeah. It must be doing that when it does that, but here we go. Hopefully it will play right. Let me, right. And then hit play and see if that. Yep.
Robot.
Yeah, robot. Something wrong with the sound.
Wow. Yeah, that ain't no fake stuff. That's
the real stuff right there. Yeah, we have to come back in, Fish, because it went gargled again. We'll have to figure out what that is causing it. Just disconnect and come back in. Yeah. I don't know why. It's something with this sound drivers probably.
I'll tell you, Pikes Peak Indian is a pretty cool experience. If you ever get a chance, you need to go there and ride the hill too.
There we go.
You gotta go up the hill. But
that was a cool video. I wish it would show better. Wish it could do it. Yeah, that's my bad.
It's all good. I put it a link in the comments.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
So
check it out.
People can try to pull it off of there, or go and search it in my Instagram. But yeah, anyway, it's a real smoke show. All right, that's all I want to say.
So, how many tires do you go through?
Like how often?
Once a month.
Yeah, not quite that many, but you know what? This is how I look at tires. I look at them as prides. I replace my tires because they need replaced due to burnouts or due to miles, not due to weather, cracking, and age. And that's literally how I do it. And I bite the bullet. And you know, sometimes Indian will run like coupon deals, and I take advantage of those when they come up. And you know, yeah, it is what I do. And I complain about the price of tires. Don't get me wrong, but I don't conserve them. Okay.
Yeah. So what's your favorite tire brand?
I always just run the Metzler's Cruise Techs, even though I have had issues with the front tire cupping. I just always run them. I trust them. You know, I know there's people that get way more miles out of other brands, and I just haven't even explored it. There was one dealer that asked me, but I just want to shout this out real quick. Just we matchy.
Oh, yeah, look at that. See?
Yeah. So anyway.
Nice.
What do you call it? There was a dealer one time that was like, "Hey, will you try a tire?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll try if you sell it to me at cost." I'm like, "What if I don't like it? I don't know, feel weird." And they hummed and hawed, and then I just said, "Okay, I'll just buy the regular tire because that's what I do." Yeah. So anyway, that's what I do. So I don't complain about tires. I'd rather use them up. Okay, hang on. We've all had that friend that has replaced tires because they're old and weathered and they start leaking, right?
We know somebody like that, Chris.
Yeah, we do.
Oh my gosh.
So
we don't want to talk about
your
that.
Money's worth? Do you get your money's worth? If that's how it, you know, like is really longevity money's worth where maybe performance and usage is? You know? So I mean, it's obviously, listen, there's been a time in my life where I rode like my sport bike and the wires were showing because I didn't have money to buy tires. We've all been there too. So everybody's journey on this motorcycle world is different. And I'm lucky to change my tires, 500 miles early rather than, wait till you're flat on the rim going, no, I have to, which I've done that too. So anyway.
Yeah. I've actually experienced that. I can't afford to buy a damn tire thing, and when I did, I bought it and had it delivered to the house, and I was putting it on with levers and sitting on the floor and trying to pry it onto the wheel, so been there, done that. And, like you, we're fortunate enough now that if we need tires, we go buy them, we have them put on, and you don't have to worry about conserving them. You just consume them.
So Bob just said that he's on his second tire in 5,000 miles.
Holy moly.
Wow.
He's not exaggerating. We were going up and down Pikes Peak, literally the motorcycle, literally the mountain. The only M word apparently I can say is motorcycle. We were going up and down the mountain, and he's doing rollers, like second gear, front brake pulled smoke shows up and down the mountain. It was incredible. But yeah.
Wow.
5,000 miles. And we joke around that we've been trailering too much, but I'm like, yeah, but when we're with Bob, we don't know if the tire is going to last an actual road trip. So
the entire trip.
Yeah, that mountain on a closed course in Mexico. Okay.
I mean, listen, if they can do the Pikes Peak run, or what is that called? What's that run? A Pikes Peak.
Yeah, where they race up it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they could do that on there, I think it's closed when we're on there too. By the way, I don't go up that fast. I'm not that good. I don't know. I'm not that good of a rider.
Did you release a video tonight?
I thought they quit doing that race. I thought somebody died on that race.
They quit doing it for motorcycles, but they allow cars.
Oh.
I did release the video. Yeah, I did.
Go check out his video. I filmed a little something that Indian probably would not like, but yeah, it's probably not in your contract, is it? As an ambassador.
So that little wheelie that I did was on a closed course
in Mexico
by a professional rider. Mm-hmm. You know, yeah,
the race to the clouds.
It was also an accident.
Yeah, it was definitely an accident.
By the way, I'm already getting crap. I would have done it better if I'd have known the camo was rolling. I was just messing around.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. His bike. If you ever seen Spicy in real life, man, whoo, it is spicy. It's a beautiful bike, man. I gotta tell you, and it's got a ton of power, more than that 112 and the new Indian in the showroom. I can tell you that much because that thing is freaking badass.
Yeah, so. Thank you. I really do. That bike, when I think we have talked on the show last time I was on, we had said a little bit about, if I wanted one of the new elites, and I was like, honestly, it's a downgrade. I've done so much stuff to this bike. It's so good, and I freaking do love it. And I also said I'm very blessed to have the bike like this. So I don't necessarily need to turn it in.
What's really cool riding with you, because I tell you what, you warp in different countries. I mean, like we came from the hotel at Walmart, okay, and we went to the dealership, and man, I tell you what, we were in Mexico. I mean, seriously, it was like, wow, I couldn't believe it.
You know what? But if we took our average speed for the day, we were way below under the speed limit. Man,
yeah, we was.
It was a slow. Listen, it was a slow group ride from the dealership to the racetrack, and I'm going to be honest. Most Indian group rides are not. They're more spirited than that. Okay, that's all I want to say. That one was very, very chill.
Something happened to the leader, the actual leader, because they went to. You said they went a different route. The actual leader that actually was leading us actually pulled over to the side with his motorcycle. And so another person was actually leading it. So I think that's where we got confused with where we were going and that kind of stuff. And it slowed down because they were trying to wait for that guy to come back up. But the guy that was actually leading the pack actually veered off to the shoulder, and we went past him. So I don't know if there was something wrong with his bike or what happened. But I think that's what happened because we were going at decent speed. That was right after you took off to the back, broke off and went to the back and started filming. Yeah. But I don't know what happened to that bike, but yeah, I think the guy that didn't know he was going to be leading was kind of being conservative.
Oh, you lead. Yeah. Hey, Fish, we talked about this before. Like I said, the 112s, they've got out now. They're nowhere near what Mad Monkey did to your bike. Nowhere near. It's light years away. But the potential is there.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody knows the potential is there. If Mad Monkey or Lloyd's or somebody, I know Lloyd's going to get their hands on it, but if somebody gets in there and cracks that ECU, it'd probably be better than your bike. Out of those new 112s, I think you get 140 square out of it. 140, 140.
I don't know about. I guess it depends on what dyno you're on, huh?
Yeah.
I could probably get.
And what the temperature is that day.
Yeah. It is amazing how good when you don't have to abide by the EPA rules and you're willing to let a couple warranties go. It's amazing how good these motors can be real easily. So, and the crazy thing was, like, Max, you had a 2020, right? Didn't you or you rode the 2020 Power Plus platform, didn't you?
I did on demo days.
Yeah. So when 2020 Challengers came out, really the tune was really needed. The throttle response, it wasn't set to par. It wasn't, there was room for improvement just right off the factory line.
The lag that everybody complained about and everything else.
And I'll say that like the 25s, I think we've all rode 25s now, but the 25s don't feel like that at all. Even compared to my 22, they're way smoother. The throttle response is it's what you'd want it to be or expect it to be. And I feel like they've came, leaps and bounds anyways. You don't necessarily need that tune anymore. So if you're going to go that route, and you might as well go big power, and try to suck it out and do what you want. But also it's getting harder and harder these days because people are really scared of the EPA. Mm-hmm. So there's that, less and less options all the time. When behind the bars, when is Smoky Mountain Bike Week? Just save me the Google search, bro, please. So also,
I mean, it just seems funny when, as I said, I see the millions and millions of people that are Harley influencers. They're building these big old monster bikes, and they're doing this and they're doing that. And I know the potential for Indian to do that is there. It's got to be there. It's been proven that it's there. We wouldn't have won anything at King of the Bagger if it wasn't there. Mm-hmm. So, like you said, it all depends on how far you want to push that envelope. Mm-hmm. If you don't care about your warranty and you're going to let Lloyd experiment on your bike and play Dr. Frankenstein, more in search of that horsepower, more power to you.
Well, you guys want to talk about Pikes Peak for a second?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. So Pikes Peak, I think it's Pikes Peak Performance. I can't remember. No, crap. Elevated Performance. That's the name of Pikes Peak Indian Motorcycle Performance. They are working on a 117.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
They may have produced a 150 square out of a Power Plus on a 2024. So
with Revolution pistons to get that.
So Revolution. Okay. So I know a lot of insight. I can't remember what's public and what's not. But no, here's the deal. So Revolution makes the cylinders. I don't know who makes the pistons. So they're still nickel sill, right? Which is key. It's key to this.
Sure.
People think it isn't, but it is. Revolution's the same people that make the cylinders for all the race bikes and the race teams. I don't know who makes the stock cylinders. I know Revolution makes a lot of the like Polaris side-by-sides cylinders and stuff. So anyway, they do a really good job. So they're the ones producing the cylinders, the 117, and they're closed deck. So you have more support up the cylinder. I just learned about it more this weekend because Two Boss Performance, which is the dealership that we went out of in Metro Milwaukee dealership, they have been experimenting with this 117 for a little while, and it's actually a 116 point something or another, but for some reason somebody called it a 117, so it just kind of stuck. But yeah, I mean, they're doing some big stuff. So I think that we got big stuff coming, even bigger, right? And so what is it going to look like when somebody gets one of these 117s and throws one of Lloyd's, race cams in there, and then you tune it to the moon, can you get a 160? Like, oh, I was texting Tito and I'm like, man, I love my bike. And I'm like, he didn't know because they're experimenting, and I'm pretty sure it's like they know they've talked about it publicly. So I know that the word on the streets out there. I'm not sure they're doing them yet, but I was like, would like to see a quote, what it would take to get this done. But here's the thing. I do love my bike, and I'm at a point where I don't necessarily need, I don't feel the need for it. I don't feel the need for any more. My bike is so fun. It is so fast already, and it's torquey. Like Chris saw that little front wheel come up, that was all throttle. There was, and it wasn't even a full throttle twist.
Wow.
So, yeah. I mean, it was fun.
I remember when you went down to Mad Monkey and the whole conversation was, it's got to be street. My daughter's going to be riding on the back of this. Everything else that you told them. So it's not just the race rocket. You're not building a dragster to go race on the street or like some of the influencers do. You're trying to make it as streetable as possible, but give me a little something.
Yeah, I wanna run around, like when nobody's on the bike, and I got a 131 next to me, I want to know that I can eat. I want that too. Right now, I feel comfortable that I'll give it a shot. Maybe I might bite off more than I can chew. Maybe I don't have to. Little bites. You can eat well, just one little bite at a time. So.
I do know. I don't know if you was up there yet. I know you came back to the group at the beginning, at the front of the pack, but there was two, a Challenger and a Harley that took off and raced each other. I can't remember what that. What was going on there?
Okay, hang on. Okay, I had
course in Mexico.
I had a really good view, had front view, and I kind of like stuttered on this one, but it was pretty funny. So this Harley, and I think it was a Dyna.
Yeah, it looked like
he pulled up to the Pursuit, 112 Pursuit, and he dropped a gear and he kind of like rodeoed it in front of the Pursuit, and in the Pursuit kind of like just laughed at him a couple times, and it was a built Dyna. And then all of a sudden they gave each other the nod, and as soon as they gave each other the nod, they both dropped a gear and the Pursuit outran them. Here's the thing. I don't know who the hell I think I am, but as soon as they dropped a gear, I dropped a gear. And I was like, wait a minute, I wasn't invited to this. So I just kind of hung out where I was. But, man, I wanted to dance. Oh, I was like, why am I not just running around these guys? But also, I had to make fun choices. In a group of 100, we had probably 100 bikes.
Yeah.
I need to make smart choices if I'm going to be, like ambassador fish while at that 100 bike event, So, but what we do in Mexico when there's 2 or 3 or 4 of us and it's just my close friends is completely different.
Yeah.
Yes.
That Metro deal, or what is it? Indiana, Milwaukee Metro or something like that?
Yeah, Metro Milwaukee. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
They actually have a dyno right in the did you see that dyno back there?
Yeah. They do. So two Boss Performance is their performance company. That they work out of that same area, location or whatever. So they do builds and stuff like that. The owner, did you get a chance to talk to him at all?
I didn't talk to him. I know he was speaking. He had the right before he mentioned you and that kind of stuff that you were there, but I never got to talk to him. No.
Yeah, he was pretty nice. We talked a little performance stuff. I asked him about because I do know that they worked on the 117. And I asked him a little bit to explain to me what a closed deck was because I didn't quite get it. So he took the time to explain to me, and we kind of, he's a rider. You could tell. I mean, he jumped on that Pursuit and had a good time. He might have been on a Pursuit with a 112 right in front of me, riding next to a Dyna, but I don't know.
Well, the owner was that fun, huh? Yeah. But we did give him a little bit of a, bad rep at the beginning, but yes, you are right. For $80, you did get a lot.
You got a lot. You guys went around that track twice.
Yeah, and we didn't even talk about that. Going around the track, which I did not film, which sucks. I was so pissed.
I did some of it, but not from that perspective.
There were so many freaking. Yeah, you did. I got that on here. There were so many freaking motorcycles there. There probably was 500 that went on that track. It just felt like it. And there were some people that would go around the track on 10 miles per hour, standing straight up like they were trying to walk around it. And then there were some people that were trying to get around them without being rude. But, if I would have thought about it again, if I was going to be able to do it again, they said you couldn't pass the freaking, what is it? The car that goes around the
pace
track
car.
first. The pace car.
The pace car.
I would have been in second place next time. I would be right behind that sucker. I am now going, when I go to Ohio, unless somebody hears this, I am definitely going to be passing everybody until I get to the pace car.
Well, I didn't even ride on the back because I thought you would have more fun that way.
Oh my God, I was so pissed. I mean, I did fall back a couple times, and I don't know if Les did too, but I fell back and then I gunned it on some of them curves, and I got up to about 100 on a couple of them, which was really cool because you get on that track, it's nice and smooth. There was a couple sketchy areas, a couple turns, but I did fall back, and then I gunned it and shift a bunch of gears, and then I caught up with the pack again. But luckily, nobody was passing me because I think everybody else was doing the same thing. Because once I did it the first time, everybody knew I was doing it, and nobody passed me. And then at the very end, the actual leaders that wasn't past the pace car started passing us. That's because the pace car could not pass the motorcycle, so everybody else went around it. So at the very end, but that was probably one of the funnest things, though. Going there, if you do have a chance to get that $80 ticket, go to Mid Ohio. I don't know what's the next race they're going to.
Laguna Seca.
Yeah. So if you're up in
that's California, yeah.
If you're up in that area, and I know Indian's doing a little bit more stuff on that racetrack, I guess. There's more options when you get the $80. I don't know if it's still $80, but I know there's some other things that they're doing on that track. Is get that pass and go on that track. I mean, they also, because you had a problem because there was 2 events at the same time, RidingFish, right? And you decided to go on the track.
Well, okay. So what it was is it's the dash for the ride around the track follows the dash for cash, and I'm there to see these baggers. I'm there to root on these Indian motorcycles. And also it's a big cue of how good they're going to be in the big race. So, I decided to go around the track because I had not done it, and also I knew I could pull it up on my phone and watch it while I was in queue, but I don't know. But yeah, it was really interesting when we got to the first little chicane area, the little first left, right. People turned their hazards on. I thought somebody went down. Okay.
Are you kidding me? They put their hazards on?
I'm not even lying. I was like, oh my God. I was like, people were putting their hazards on? I'm like, somebody's broke. Somebody wrecked. Somebody went down. What the heck? What is going on? And then we get there and just people are going slow. And then to think, even Chris, you said there was a sketchy moment. Think these guys are averaging like 80, 90, 100 miles an hour on all these even sketchy turns. It's crazy. Anyway, so that was my point is it is interesting, and I would love to do Laguna Seca. And I'm looking right here, you do get a lap around Laguna Seca. It is goodness. And could you imagine? It's like a 1,500 foot drop in like a quarter mile because there's so much, it's so downhill. Oh my God. It's something crazy. Really? Yeah, it's freaking nuts. I do think though that Laguna Seca is a little bit more expensive. It's $150. It's the only one. All the other ones are $80. But it's a 2-day event, so it's not.
And when is it?
July 11th and 12th.
Chris, I think we could ride out and ride back, man. What do you think?
I don't think I'm going to be able to count.
Laguna Seca is in California, dude.
I know, man. That's a weekend ride, right?
No. Hey, Les, how did you do on the track? I've heard from all these Power Plus people. How the Thunderstroke do?
It did perfectly fine. I actually got fed up and started passing people.
Yeah, you got to pass people.
Yeah, some of those 10-mile-an-hour guys, I'm just like, go home. If you got to go 10 mile an hour around that, you better not be on a bike, really, some of them. Yeah, I did. I got fed up with it, and I finally passed them.
Yeah, because I was over there on that turn you told me to go to, RidingFish. Yeah.
So I'll show you here.
I saw the people were going really slow on that turn. What is it, turn 5 or something?
Yeah. Let me show you guys.
Yeah,
that. See, I like that one.
That's a bike for you right there.
It's a good starter bike.
Wait a minute, I get a ride on that.
There we go.
Wait, God.
So I did leave my 2 laps in my video that I dropped today, but I turned it on like 9 times speed because that's the only way it looked fun.
That was worth the price right there. Actually, I would say
you really enjoyed it. I think.
When you can act like you can act like Troy or Tyler, going around the track just for a couple seconds. I mean, you're not even close, but their speed, because you can't lean like they can, and almost touch the ground with their knees.
Know. There was a white one going around there, a real pretty white one called Spicy going around there, pretty good. That's the prettiest white color on that.
Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful bike. I'm telling you, man. You got to see it in person. It's a beautiful bike.
So, I wanted to talk about this since we're on it a little bit more.
Yeah, good.
It's interesting when we watch the races on TV and you get an idea of these tracks, and then you get on the actual track and you're like, this is a really wide track, but the racers, they're racing online, so they don't use but 20% of the width of the track, but I mean, you could go 5 or 6 wide when you're going 10 miles an hour, obviously, but it gives a weird perspective. You're like, wow, the track seems so much harder to ride when you're watching them. But then when you're out there, you're like, okay, it's a really big track. Like, it's really wide. I don't know. That was always what I take from it.
I plan on going. I'm going to be going at least the Saturday on that behind the bars, but I don't know about Les. I think he's doing another ride that weekend. Max, you can ride up with us. We're only going to do it one day, so you can check it out. You can ride in the truck, so you're invited.
Yeah.
Did you see what Behind the Bars said?
What?
He's going to test ride a new Chieftain.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, wow.
So Behind the Bars is going teepee creeping, huh?
Yes.
But back with I just because of that comment there, but to get back to what RidingFish was actually talking about, it is strange because when you first ride that bike, you're riding on that track, it does seem to be wide, but when you actually start riding that track, it gets very narrow. I mean that's what's really cool about it, because you're wanting to get that line, because you've been trained, get to the curbs, you want to get as tight as possible, get laid down as much as you can to get to the next curve, and you want to flip that bike on the other side. That track gets a lot narrow after you start thinking like that. But the only thing that was really holding us back was the people in front of us. I mean, there was, just that's what really was the bad thing about it. So, RidingFish, what do you think? Talk to Indian, maybe get do some kind of video and rent this track for a day. Sign some some paperwork that we'd take no responsibility. We're in Mexico.
I pitched it. I pitched it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Back in the first year I became an ambassador, it got brought up, and it seemed fairly like it was possible. And I think it was just one of those like, oh yeah, we'll see, and then they just threw the idea out the window. So,
well, I think Indian does need to do that, because a lot of the influencers for Harley Davidson, they literally got to ride it on the track, with the new engines and stuff like that, and it was part of their scene on YouTube and stuff. So I think Indian, if they want to catch up or show that they have a powerful bike, I think that's the right thing to do, is give us a race day, have some fun.
Yeah. I just don't know if I'll make that cut. I think if they do something like that, they're gonna be very selective of who they choose, and they're gonna probably pick some real big influencers or something in the game. And I'll just be honest, I don't know if they'll send me to that, but if they do, I will call off work.
Well, be perfectly honest with you, when I saw the videos of who was actually riding the RR, you had a lot of print guys who had track experience riding those, who had their own leathers and everything else. So ordinary guys, sorry Les, sorry Chris, me too, ain't gonna happen. RidingFish, you might make the cut, you might not, I don't know. But like I said, it seemed like the guys who got on that had track experience. So,
but they did
track experience.
But didn't they open the ST up to influencers? Harley did.
ST, yes, not the RR.
Yeah, the ST. That's what we're talking about. Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe there's a shot. Maybe I got a shot. But I'm gonna keep putting my name in the hat, I have no problem doing that at all. I would love to do it. Yeah, so I think maybe I've dropped the ball a little bit here and there on like trying to get coverage on this kind of thing. Like it's just always been really hard to cover in a good way. It's really, I do feel like I struggle because what am I going to show all these one guys making a left turn? You know, like Connie was saying, like, yeah, we stood where you were, you know, or you told us to, which is nice for viewing, but for content create, it's really hard. So I don't know.
Well, speaking of that, Fish, I mean, your content's a little bit different than most people's. Okay, your content it shows you, you know, as a rider, what you could do to an Indian and make it freaking powerful. I don't think there's anybody that's doing that kind of stuff. I don't think there's anybody showing videos of, of a 112 before the 112 was actually released, So yes, if the Indian's scared of that stuff, that's shame on them. Because that's a part of the buyer experience that some of these people want, and they want that experience, and they want to know what they could do with this bike. They don't want it to be the same as everybody else, the same, because they only come out with 4 collars pretty much. If you do buy one and somebody else buys one in the neighborhood, it probably most likely they're going to look the same, unless they got one's chrome, one's black, and I mean that's the difference. But what you're doing, you're putting the windshield on, different collars, the bore, the upgrade of the engine, the 112, all that kind of stuff. If Indian is scared of that, like I said, shame on them, because there's a lot of buyers out there that want that stuff, and there's no videos out there about it other than yours. So,
well, I appreciate it. It feels like a compliment. I feel like you're saying that thing.
Well, I hope it.
Well,
supposed to be,
and it is, because he's right. You are one of the few that are out there. But again, Lloyd had his series out there, and then all of a sudden he disappeared. So, I mean, I don't know what it takes. And there is always going to be that certain segment that is not going to be happy riding a stock bike. They're going to want to hot rod it. They're going to want to hop it up. And like I said, the Pistons were out there. Mad Monkey was using it. You went to Toad's Performance. It got your exhaust. Now there's Sawicki. Now there's Chromeworks Outlaw, D&D. All these people make performance exhaust. People want to know who's the best. I still say there's going to be somebody that takes one of these new 112s and just blow it out the water, because some people are looking for that. I'm not particularly, but some people are. And there's always going to be those people that are.
Well, so as a creator, we were saying that there's a lot of Harley guys that like make it to the moon, but I keep mine a rider, right? Like obviously, because I do trip. I crossed 30,000 miles on the way to meet you guys. So I do trip, I do all that. But maybe the ones, like as a creator, you got to continue to do something, right? If I just bought my bike and left it bone stock, I mean, I better be really good at trip videos.
Yeah. So I mean, you also got brands on there like you're the seat. You got the fiberglass.
Carbon fiber,
PC Customs. Hang on.
TNA carbon fiber. TNA. Those are my boy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of stuff that you can't get on the motorcycle when you purchase it. I mean, even though Indian comes out with a lot of stuff, like they have a better suspension. They actually have the forks? What they call them? The Harley doesn't come standard. A lot of upgrades automatically when you buy Indian, but you have definitely upgraded it a ton more, with all the vendors and that kind of stuff. And I can tell you, you got to see this bike in real life. It's a beautiful bike. And it's got a lot of carbon fiber on it.
Which I loved.
Yeah. And it does wheelies in Mexico.
I can remember seeing the two back sides of the saddlebag and the tail light. That's mostly the view I got of that bike.
That was because I was leading, just to be fair.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. I had to get that thing that, that speed limiter off because I couldn't catch up. Just kidding.
Oh, you have a speed limiter?
No. I'm just joking.
I think I have one too. I think it's like, and I don't know what it is, but I think they told me it was like 160 something. I've never been even in that range to worry about it. But
so who's the top Indian influencer on YouTube with the users? Who do you think that would be?
I don't know.
I think it's you, man. Actually, believe it or not. I mean, Harley Davidson's got their own, but they got 100,000. But when we're talking about like the Harley Davidson dealer, the thing on the other side of the street, and then Indian over here, if you look at the market share, it's probably about right. You have about 80% of the market share is Harley Davidson. You got maybe 10% of Indian. So if you look at that, it's probably it's about right when the event size kind of thing. Same thing. Indian influencers are way down there with subs because there's not as many people riding Indian. I mean, it's increasing every year, but Harley Davidson has a big ownership, and so they have more views, more subs, and that kind of stuff. So you got some that's let's see, Adam Sandoval, 100,000 plus. You got who's the guy in New York?
Marvel Kid.
Yeah, all them guys, they're up in the hundreds. The female in Ohio, what's her name?
Her two wheels.
Her two
wheels.
It's got about 100,000. It's because
and
Harley.
Please don't forget about Traveling Tall. Lord.
Traveling Tall. You got be the boss of your motorcycle. They all got 100,000. Yeah. I mean, it seems like there's actually a limit. At Harley Davidson. I don't see anybody really with like 1 million subscribers, but it's always in 100,000, 200,000, something like that. And I mean, they're increasing. Cycle Fanatics is another one. But
I would say maybe Brandon Picasso. He's really good. He has a really big following. He does great content. He does different kind of content than I do, but Brandon's a good dude. But he's like in the game of we're counting subscribers and followers right now. Mm-hmm. Probably Brandon might be the biggest one. Even though Adam does own an Indian, he rides a Harley mostly, right? So
yeah.
So it's hard to call him an Indian creator, but he does create on Indians. He says good things all the time. Him and I've had private conversations about India. He was on your show. He said great things about Indians. So
right.
But he does ride a Harley most of the time, right? So yeah, I don't know. Brandon Picasso is probably the one that comes to my mind as but we do different type of content, so Blockhead does stuff with Indian or not with, but on Indians at times. So he's mostly a Harley guy too, yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anybody really, but I do it different, man. And my style of videos are different and I edit them myself, and that's a whole thing, and it's not for everybody. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess but you're right. You're right. When you can catch a lot of fish when you're fishing with a net, and when you're on a Harley, you're fishing with a net. And when you're on an Indian, you're trolling, Yeah. So the ones you catch will be valuable and probably big and much better, in my opinion. The followers, I don't get a lot of hate, a lot of hate text or messages and stuff like that, where you do get that on other brands, right? Because you're catching these guys with nets. So you're going to get some you want to throw back. Well, when you're trolling, you ain't throwing many back. You're going to be happy when they hit. So that's kind of how I look at it. Doesn't mean that, I
guess what I want to finalize with on your channel, I think what it takes a nerdy Indian, and makes an Indian fun on your channel. That's what I mean. Watching it just inspires you. Like, this is what this damn machine behind me is capable of doing if you had the money. And, yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate what you're saying, and I'm hearing you. So it's freaking fun. One thing about me is I'll say, and this I truly believe this, is I feel like I'm the same when the camera's on and the camera's off, and we bullshit together. Like I do take. Listen, I'm a motorcyclist that plays online. That's it. You know, these guys, some of these real big guys, and I don't know them really, so I can't wouldn't be able to name anybody, but you know, those guys are content creators. That's what they do. You have to respect them. That's a game in the hustle. Maybe that's one of my problems why, you know, maybe I wouldn't be hung up so much, right? If I did it differently, but this is who I am. I ride. I've always been like a community guy. You know, I'm all about hanging out. We all had a great dinner, you know, and that's just me. And I've done that many times with people. So yeah, that's it. I don't really know. I mean, you tell me, was I exactly how I am? Like in videos, I'm the same person all the time. Little freaking crackhead over here.
I got to release the video, but I believe that you was exactly who you are from the videos. I mean, I met some people that are not exactly who they are on the videos, and they're really, I guess you can say, not speakable. I guess you can say in the terms, or like, see you later, have a nice day, nice meeting you, but that kind of stuff. You invited us to dinner. We had dinner. It was great. We met up the next day. We hung out a few times. Every time I came to you, you were talkable. We had conversations. It wasn't like you were trying to get away from me, that kind of stuff. So yeah, you're exactly who you are in the videos. So
I try and get away from it every chance I get.
I know you didn't even come, bro. I'm gonna stay 2 states
go ahead
away.
And blank me out. I know you're trying to hit the button. Go ahead.
I don't know what happened to him. Where'd he go?
Yeah, right.
Got a glitch. Well, I'll say this. I take that as the biggest compliment, you know, and because that is, I felt bad actually because we had more plans to get different things like content wise on Sunday, and it didn't work out, and I felt really kind of bad about that. That being said, this is what I do, man. I just freaking love motorcycles and hanging. That's it. I just want to do motorcycle stuff with my motorcycle friends. That's what I always say, and it's true stuff. Yeah. So
here's my thought process of it. Okay, so I know you got your gig. I know you got to do your thing. I'm one of them kind of. I hold back because I know that, hey, listen, he's got a thing to do. He's probably going to do some filming, that kind of stuff. I don't want to hinder anything that you have planned. My plan was to have fun, enjoy the event, film a little bit here or there. We did get you one time to do a little bit of filming. I think it's on your video. It's on my video. But I'm not here to, just to harass, RidingFish. I know you had an agenda. You invited us up there, but I knew that you had your own thing going on. We had our own thing going on, and hopefully you felt the same way. That we wasn't like disappearing, didn't want to hang out with you and that kind of stuff. It's just I knew you had plans, and I just didn't want to intrude on them. So that kind of stuff.
Well, hang on. So I don't think there's no intruding, by the way, but also because of who I am in those situations, there's people that like, hey, Fish, what's up, man? I seen your videos, and I talk to them, and I do stop the shop and talk to those people, and whoever they are, and I'm always honored to meet people that take the time to watch a video. That's crazy, right? Like, I watch my video like 50 times while I edit it, and then when I'm done, So, so anyway, that's all. And so it does get kind of difficult. Sometimes you're getting pulled in different directions, and I always try to be open to, meeting people and hanging out and all the good stuff. So, by the way, my boy Bob's in the comments. I just want to say a couple of things. He said that we got some spirited riding in northern Minnesota. So there's some pretty cool stuff next year on July 18th. We're going to have a huge party in northern Minnesota. Obviously, that's over a year away. That's because we're planning the crap out of it. So you guys might want to mark your calendars now.
Uh-oh. Somebody got a tornado warning?
Who's got a storm warning?
No, it's a kid missing warning, actually.
Uh-oh. Amber alert.
Yeah, that's not good. what was I saying? Oh, so Bob, and then also he's asking, are you guys going to come down to the Iowa thing on the 20th? What's up with that? Come on, I'm trying to twist an arm again.
Is that you could probably ride?
That is, yeah.
If I was not headed east to Myrtle Beach, I absolutely would.
Now, if they had a private plane, would be able to do it. Yeah.
Well, what's a plane ride to Minneapolis?
I know. You're gonna pick us up? We have to get an Uber.
I'll pick you up from the airport. Yeah, you don't have to get an Uber. I only live an hour from the airport. I'll pick you up.
Well, look, we'll see what we can do. I know
maybe Troy will ride with.
Put him in the passenger side so you can go down that lane, where it says you have to have 2 people in a car.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Fish, you talk about how you like people and stuff. Your ending tagline says it all, brother. Why don't you tag us out for tonight?
Are we done?
I guess so, yeah.
It's
he is.
It's 9:27.
Max has got to go to bed.
I was literally about to check. I was looking down. You were probably looking. That's because I was checking my work schedule. What time do I got to be at work? So yeah, I'm running into the shower after this anyway. So,
well, get some sleep.
You want me to end it? You guys can end it. I don't.
Yeah, go ahead and do your tagline because it just sums up everything you just said.
Well, I'll end my and then I'll tag out and you guys can do your thing. But I'm gonna end my part like I always do. So ride hard, ride fast, and say hi to somebody you don't know. Peace.
Peace, brother.
Damn, he got out fast.
Yeah, he did.
Oh man,
he's got to do his thing. Did you guys see Behind the Bars real quick?
What do you say?
Say to us that our Indian is a Polaris. They are trying to bash Indian, I guess. Anyone ever say that to you guys? All the friggin' time.
Yeah, it's actually a jealousy kind of thing, Yeah. I believe is this because both motorcycle companies, actually Royal Enfield was a 1901 also, but it was not American brand at that time. But yeah, people are just they think Polaris because Harley's been. Harley almost went bankrupt one time, and they got saved by investors. Okay. It's kind of the same kind of thing. Polaris saved Indian's name, even though it was a couple years that nobody was making any bikes with an Indian name at all, but they bought the name rights and everything else and brought it back. But they are kind of, some victory bikes, but the Chief is not a victory bike. That's a brand new bike from Polaris Indian. But it's Indian brand. Now, if Indian and Polaris separated and they made their own identity, own company and that kind of stuff, would they still say the same thing? They couldn't say that no more. But I think it's just jealousy because they're riding a motorcycle that's probably mortgaged to the death. And they can't, trade that sucker in for the Indian. So that's the reason why they're jealous.
The rivalry has mostly been good-natured and good-spirited, and I don't mind them busting chops on Indian, just like we bust chops on Harleys, with them leaking oil in the middle of the floor. This, that, and the other. It's gone on forever. Yeah. The thing is, though, when it turns mean.
Yeah.
And you can sense when it does. Mm-hmm. That's the kind of stuff that nobody needs to put up with. Because, hey, we're all on 2 wheels. And a car can run over a Harley just as fast, or an Indian just as fast as it can the other.
Yeah.
So, we're all taking the same risk. Don't let it get you down. Don't let it get you down.
I think the more popular Indian gets, and especially with these King of the Bagger races, I think that you're going to hear that comment more and more because I just know I've never heard that ever for the last 2 years, other than the last month, where I hear a lot of people either somebody said it on YouTube. Yeah. Where, it's Polaris. I think so. I was watching a video and the guy kept on saying Polaris, not an Indian. It just come and saying the Polaris. It was a Scout. They were had it on doing a tune on a dyno, and he just kept on saying Polaris, Polaris, Polaris. He would not recognize that motorcycle as a Indian. And I think people have been watching that video and it's going around. But this bike is an Indian and it's not a Polaris.
Well, I've actually heard that argument a lot, and what people will will rest their case on is, Harley's been in continuous operation, and it's not been shut down for a period of time. So if you look at Indian, I think was 1953 when they went out, the original company, I believe it was. Max, you can fact check me on that. I think it's 53, but yeah, they officially went out of business, and then there were some people who had the trademark and the naming rights, and they did some little Italian bikes. I think it was Armaci or something like that. That they bought bikes, branded them as Indian, and brought them over. Then there's a period of time where they didn't make anything. Then Gilroy, the California motorcycle company, I think it's CMC, picked up the trademark and started manufacturing quote Indians, in California during the Gilroy period, using S&S motors. And I think it was Baker transmission, or maybe it's even a Harley transmission at the time. So
I think it was a combination of both. Yeah.
Yeah. So they've had different owners own the trademark, own the rights to the name, over time. And that's the argument that you get it. Well, it's not the original company. And, and people can make the argument too about Harley Davidson. They were bought out by AMF. They had new ownership. It's not the same people. I don't know. I obviously I own an Indian. I like it. I like the way the bike rides. I like the style on it. And that's that. So whether it's, a Polaris or an Indian or whatever the hell you want to call it, it's a bike I enjoy, and that's that.
All right. Well, I think that's about it, because I think Max is closing his eyes. He's falling asleep on us. All right, let's see what's the best music here we got here. Let's just try this one. There we go. I think it's Learning to Let Go.
How apropos. All right, folks.
Everybody have a good night.
That's for tonight. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, hey, thanks for watching, everyone.
See you later.
Hey, we are on Spotify. Please like and share this podcast. We did get some subscribers this week at 511 right now, so hopefully we'll be there sooner or later. We'll put something in that box. I forgot to mention.
That's it. You got to give that box away.
Yeah, we're going to give a box away with some stuff in it. I did post a video tonight, some cleaning my motorcycle. I know it's boring, but we'll see how it goes up. Max was cleaning.
Well, at least you got a motorcycle to clean.
I was cleaning it with your shirt, so I want to make sure your shirt is clean. All right, guys, have a good night.